Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to In the Streets again with Big Stone. This morning, our topic is about our 55th independence celebration. Should we spend $264 million for our celebration? Why our hospitals are lacking of beds? Patients have to be sitting for 2 and 3 and 4 days on a chair. And I'm talking about seriously ill patients who need rest after surgery, who need rest after being sedated with heavy medication, who need rest from just the pain that they're feeling. Let's talk about this Jamaica. And there are a number of hospitals, ladies and gentlemen, that are poorly equipped. Let's talk about the hospital in Spanish Town. My sister Janet Sinclair took ill while she was on the road. And when she got to the emergency room, she had to spend a number of hours in the car, ladies and gentlemen, before a wheelchair could be allotted to her. She eventually died when the doctors came and made the checks. There's another hospital, ladies and gentlemen, the parish where I was born, St. Anne. The hospital is in dire need of bedding, dire need of medication, dire need of a lot of things. Let's get back to Montego Bay, the Cornwall Regional Hospital. The nurses had practically had to go on strike recently in order for them to come up with a plan to clean the hospital so that the air quality can be safe for not just the patient, but the actual nurse who work tirelessly to do their job. Let's dissect why we spend so much money in festivity. And guess me, and don't get me wrong, I am a diehard Jamaican. And when I tell you I'm a diehard Jamaican, I gave up a life of luxury. I actually gave up my green card to come back to my country to see how much work that I can do. The little bit that I can do to help to make my country what it ought to be. Now, I'm not a politician. I'm a Rastafarian. But I'm also the victim ambassador. I speak not just for myself, but I speak for the rest of Jamaica, the rest of Jamaica who are dying, the rest of Jamaica who are in dire need of good. Let's look at what Mr. Ruel Reid has to say. The government has budgeted to spend $200 million this year in celebration of Jamaica's 55th anniversary of independence. Minister of Education, Youth and Information, Senator Ruel Reid, has said the celebration will involve several activities spread across the year. Speaking at Wednesday's post-cabinet media briefing at Jamaica House, he said the observation of Jamaica's 55th is to take place over the period of January 1st, 2017 to December 31st, 2017, with the main celebration period to coincide with our annual independence celebrations. Reid said the cabinet has approved the establishment of a Jamaica 55th Secretariat within the Ministry of Culture and Entertainment, which will organize the celebratory events. Additionally, the minister advised that the government will be spending £410,000 or Jamaica $64 million to promote Jamaica in London during the IAF World Athletics Championship there. He said the money is to be spent to establish Jamaica House 2017 when the championship begins in August. Senator Reid cited Jamaica House as a marketing tool that is used by the Jamaica Tourist Board to boost visitors' arrival on the island. The Indigo at 02, a live music venue in London, will be contracted by the Jamaica Tourist Board as the venue for Jamaica House 2017. Last year, the government spent $100 million to establish Jamaica House in the Rio, Brazil Olympic Games. The information minister was unable to provide figures on the earnings achieved from similar ventures. Now, Jamaica, let's take a look at this. Our citizens are dying. I understand that we have to celebrate our independence. But independent from what? Independent from what? When a country celebrates their independence, they should celebrate proud. They should celebrate with dignity. They should celebrate with pride to know that every single citizen that has worked tirelessly in this country should be taken care of. 200 million is not a lot of money. But when you look at what we need, hospital beds, medication for our patients, proper care for our infants, this money, ladies and gentlemen, could be dissected to, as far as I'm concerned, a mere $10 million can give you one of the biggest celebrations if that money was put in the proper organizer's hand. $200 million for us to party for one day, for us to have a great time on August 6th, and then after that, what? Come on, Jamaica. Come on, whoever, whichever, or whatever government are in charge. I personally think this is a waste of our money. I personally think that this money that we have allocated for Jamaica's 55th this year should be dissected down to 10 million and 190 million spent on the health and care of our citizens. Now I want you to send your feedback. Let me know how you feel, Jamaica. Let me know how you feel about our citizens, how they're being treated. I remember watching the news quite a few years ago, and I was taken back to tears when I saw one of our citizens, a farmer, who I assume was about 75 years old. And ladies and gentlemen, when I saw the tears rolling down that farmer's face, it brought me to a level of, I wish I could help. What can I do to help our citizens? Our healthcare are important. If a Jamaican work hard and tireless to build this country, the least that we can do for him, Jamaica, is to give him a proper bed when he's sick, to make sure that the nurses are on staff, and to make sure that the welfare of our citizens are taken care of. A matter of fact, if you look at the news recently, we're losing our nurses left, right, and center. Yes, we train some of the greatest nurses in the world. So does Cuba. But yet still, our nurses are not taken care of financially. They're not being paid properly. And because they're not being paid properly, they tend to seek employment elsewhere. And you can't blame them. They have a family to take care of. They have things to do. Food has to be put on their table for their children. A saving has to be set up for their latter years. So you can't blame our nurse for trying to go to greener pastures to make money to take care of their family. Jamaica, we need to wake up. We need to start spending money on what really should be spent on. High crime. Enough money is supposed to go into that. Health care. Enough money is supposed to go into that. Our schooling. Enough money is supposed to go into that. Rehabilitating our youngsters that has run afoul of the law. Enough money must be going into that. And guess what? Preventive measures, community centers, sports club, different fraternities that can really hold the mind of some of our misguided youths. So Jamaica, whoever is in charge, wake up and smell the coffee. Wake up and smell the coffee and make sure that you allocate the money properly.